This video is on dividing polynomials, specifically dividing using long division. It is the only example that I am completing for long division, but it covers all of the basics for how to properly solve. It may end up being longer than 5 minutes, but it's just a system that takes a little bit of time, so the explanation might take a little bit longer than 5 minutes. So the example says divide by using long division, so 4x squared plus 3x cubed plus 10, and we're going to divide that by x minus 2. The first thing that you want to do is to rewrite your polynomials into standard form. Therefore, the first one is going to be rewritten as 3x cubed plus 4x squared. I'm going to put in a plus 0x plus 10, and then we're going to be dividing that by x minus 2. The reason why I'm including the 0x is because you need to have every representation for every term between the highest and your constant. So the linear term was currently missing. There was no x in our original. Therefore, I needed to include it so that when I do the division, everything cancels out and simplifies down correctly. As I progress through the process, you'll understand more why that 0x is so important. From here, we need to set up the question for division. So it's going to be x divided by 2, or sorry, x minus 2. And we're going to divide that into 3x cubed plus 4x squared plus 0x plus 10. From here, we're going to start the division. So nothing needs to go above the 3x cubed. You don't want to put an x there because that would be confusing. So I am going to just kind of put like a closed off box to indicate that that space is not going to be used. So the first stage is that we want to cancel out the 3x cubed as you would in regular division. If we were dividing 2 into 42, 2 goes into 4 2 times. With subtraction, you would end up with 0, carry down the 2, 1, 2, 0, and so 21 would be the answer. This is obviously what we're doing. We're just doing it in a slightly more complex method. So what times x is going to give you 3x cubed? So x times what is equal to 3x cubed? That's what you're trying to figure out to ensure that we properly cancel out the 3x cubed. Well, the answer to that would be 3x squared. X times 3x squared is 3x cubed. So above our 4x squared, we're going to write 3x squared as our first part for the division. Then we're going to multiply that number to the x, and then again to the negative 2. So 3x squared times x is 3x cubed. 3x squared times negative 2 is negative 6x squared, and then draw a line. From here, you're going to use subtraction in order to solve. That way, the 3x cubes properly cancel out. So, 3x cubed minus 3x cubed goes away, and then 4x squared minus a negative 6x squared becomes a 10x squared. Then you're going to carry down your plus 0x, and you'll notice as we progress that this is absolutely necessary. You need this placeholder so you don't accidentally carry down the 10 too soon. From here, x times what is equal to 10x squared? The answer to that would be 10x, so our next number is going to be plus 10x. So 10x times x is 10x squared. 10x times the negative 2 is negative 20x, and then again draw the line. The next is you use subtraction in order to cancel out that term correctly. So 10x squared minus 10x squared, those cancel out. 0 minus a negative 20x becomes a positive 20x. Again, carry down your 10, so plus 10. So you'll notice here that these x's overlap. If we had not put this 0x in, you would have had a 10 here instead of a 0x, and then you would have had 10 minus 20x, and that wouldn't have made any sense, and the question would have ended up wrong. So you want to make sure that you can always have the same variables stacked. You want to make sure they're stacked properly so that when you solve, things cancel out appropriately. So from here, we now need to decide what times x is going to give us 20x, because that's the next end final one that we need to cancel, or, well, second to the final one. So x times 20 would be 20x, so we're going to put plus 20. So 20 times x, again, is 20x. And then 20 times negative 2 is negative 20. From here, you draw a line. Sorry, it's negative 40, not 20. And again, we use subtraction in order to cancel out those 20 x's. Okay, so from here, you have 20x minus 20, that cancels out. And then 10 minus a negative 40 would be a positive 50. This very last number is your remainder. So there's going to be two ways to write the solution. You can do 3x squared plus 10x plus 20 with a remainder of 50, or you can write the more complete solution of 3x squared plus 10x plus 20 plus 50 divided by x minus 2, which was the divisor. So both of those are considered correct solutions. The processes of these is super important, so make sure that you if necessary, rewatch this a couple times to ensure that you understand what the goal of this is. Without understanding the goal, it makes this super difficult. So again, make sure your variables stack correctly so that as you go through, things cancel. And then also, as you progress, your goal is to try to cancel out the first term of whatever it is that you are working with. So in this case, we were working with a 3x cubed. So we had to multiply something to this x in order to make a 3x cubed. What that number was 3x squared, and that went up above. You will also notice that I stacked the x squared, the x, and the constant to ensure that when we were done, our degree went down by 1. So that's the end of the example, and hopefully you understood the bulk of it. There are a ton of other videos available on YouTube or TeacherTube, or even on the internet in general. So always check out other options if something doesn't quite make sense. So this is just an example for a U-try. So 15x squared plus 8x minus 12 divided by 3x plus 1. And that's the end of this video.